Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. In this episode, I've got my friend Barb Pletsch on here. She's going to share how she used 2B Mindset to drop like 30 pounds. And it's just so incredible to hear her story. And I can't wait for you to hear her messages and her tips. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome to the Power Blast podcast, the power of possibility, passion, and purpose. I'm Perry Tinsley, health and fitness coach, and I have a special guest on today's call, Barb Pletsch. I'm going to turn over the video pretty soon here, but I just love how she shared with me her incredible journey and results. And tons of people are sharing their results with 2B Mindset because it's a mindset type of program, not a diet. And it just helps you with your eating and getting control, and especially if you want to lose weight. This is such an amazing program. I've gotten great results. Many of my friends have. So I cannot wait for Barb to share her message and her story with you. Let's get to it. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, and I've got a special guest on here, as I just told you before, my very good friend and literally my neighbor now since I moved to Minnesota. Barb Pletsch is in the house. Hey, Barb. Welcome.
Hi, Barry. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yay.
Yay.
For those of you that may or may not know, if you've been a listener to the podcast or view the podcast, you may recognize Barb. Barb talked a while back. We did a podcast at the Mall of America, kind of by the mini golf area, overlooking the amusement park. And she was talking about how she, what she does with but she has celiac disease, and how she copes with that, and how she strategizes and meal plans and gets her nutrition and everything like that. So I don't even remember. You know what? I'll put it in the show notes, the link to that show, if you want to learn more about that and hear that one. And I'm sure Barb will talk about that today. But what we want to talk about today with Barb is how she lost, is it 30 pounds within the past
6 months?
Past 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
30 pounds. And I bet you weren't even looking at it going, yeah, I need to lose 30 pounds.
No, but I mean, it really wasn't a number that I wanted to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
I had lost a lot of weight when I was diagnosed with celiac disease, and I was down to 2 pounds up from where I am right now.
Okay.
And that was like a dangerous way to lose weight because I was feeling really sick. My stomach wasn't doing the right things. My stomach hurt all the time. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't full, and I was just dropping weight. So that wasn't really my goal and when I decided I wanted to lose weight, I just wanted to lose something just so I could feel better. And luckily I found what I was looking for, and I feel like I've lost weight the healthy way, and I'm really excited.
Oh yeah. I mean, and you have. And what I love about the success story we've shared on this show, Barb's going to share her journey, not with just 2B Mindset, but I think 2B Mindset was the big game changer for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if any of you need to go back and listen to some of the other people that have been on here. I mean, we just had Judy on. She's down like 109 pounds total. I don't think all of it with 2B Mindset, but a good share of it.
Mm-hmm.
We had Milan Jensen, who's probably approaching, I think she may be 5'1" tall or something like that. And she's already down close to 30, I believe, and even a few other people. But I want to hear Barb's story on. Let's not go back super far yet. Let's just take it and break it down for 2018. We're hitting January, and you're ready to take on a new fitness program, and maybe you're coming off the holidays. Walk us through that, and walk us through the year. What was your experience, and what happened?
Okay, well, I started in January. I was super excited about 80-day obsession, and I was all in. I did those workouts 1 hour a day, 6 days a week, fabulous workouts. I gained so much as far as my strength and was just really feeling good. And I was doing the work. I mean, just really getting in there. I was waking up at 4 a.m. to do the workouts just so I could, get ready to go for my day. Because I like to get up really early and do my workouts and then be able to take care of my family. So that's just how I roll. So when it was finished, I was so excited because I hadn't stepped on the scale. I had no idea if I'd lost any weight. Oh, and I should probably say I did not follow the time nutrition. Getting up at 4 a.m., I just couldn't get up an hour and a half earlier to eat another meal. It just wasn't going to work for me. So I decided, well, I'll cut back a little bit here and there, but I'm just not going to do the time nutrition. So that's my one thing I didn't follow with 80-day obsession. So I took my after pictures and I thought, well, maybe I can see a little muscle here. So that's good. And then I stepped on the scale and I had gone up 3 pounds. And I was bummed. I said, all that work. And I went up 3 pounds. And I know we're not supposed to concentrate on the pounds. We're not supposed to concentrate on the scale. But I was really hoping for something. So that's when, Perry, you had a podcast with Ann Doval
Okay. Yeah.
talking about 2B mindset. And I think maybe you had sent me a Facebook message saying, hey, are you thinking about 2B mindset? And I really wasn't. I was kind of like, bummed. I did all this 80-day obsession and got nowhere. But you talked about 2B mindset and you said, listen to this podcast. And I did. And I was, I have to do this. This sounds like it's just for me. I really have to do this time because I've done some other diet weight loss things and just I would lose 6 or 7 pounds and that would be it. So I just kept increasing, getting back up there. So I thought, okay, 2B mindset, this is for me. So before 2B mindset came out, I started another round of Shift Shop. So this was my second round of Shift Shop. And I really love Chris Downing and he is just so motivational and inspirational. And I love his work ethic. So I was doing that and then started 2B mindset and got the package, got the videos, and I just went through them all. And I thought, this is so easy. Water first, veggies most. I have my water bottle right here.
Mm-hmm.
I drink 3 of these a day. It's 32 ounces. So I'm drinking almost 100 ounces of water a day. And I think that makes all the difference in the world. So then I just started incorporating veggies into my diet because, I'd have, some green beans here with dinner, some lettuce here with lunch. But I really made an effort to put a lot of vegetables into my diet. And the pounds just started coming right off. It was amazing. And people were noticing, saying like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm having my water first and veggies most. And it just kept going and going and going. Then finally in August, I got around to my goal weight and I started seeing some real changes. I was feeling better in my clothes. I could wear almost everything in my closet. Yay. And, I felt really good about myself and had a lot of energy and just loved vegetables. And it just did the trick.
Wow. What a cool journey. And okay, so what I love people. I mean, even if you were just to take away 2 things from what Barb just shared, and even if you never did 2B mindset yourself, which you should because there's a lot more to it.
Absolutely.
But the simple practice of water first before every meal, that's what she's talking about. Was the concept is not just to drink 100 ounces throughout the day, which it is, but there's like 16 ounces before you have a meal. Is that the way you practiced it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then proportioning your veggies, but having veggies most as each meal, where the ratios of protein and carbs changes throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just following that, but you follow those 2 simple things. I even have to say, I was surprised at my results. And I guess, maybe you can share this. So we've tried, different eating plans and things like that.
Mhm.
And then sometimes you find yourself, oh, I don't want to be as structured. I'm finding this to not be so structured
Not at
and
all.
sustainable and not so locked in and very
Right.
flexible to where it seems like I can just keep going and doing this. What's your experience with that?
Oh, I feel the same way. In some of the other diets that I've tried, we've had to do a lot of, okay, well, buy, this type of oil or buy or, drink lemon, ginger, cayenne water. And it seemed like I had to buy a lot of extra things. Well, this one, I was just buying vegetables.
Mhm.
Really, it's just so easy. Eat a couple more vegetables. It's not going to, make a huge impact on what the rest of your family is eating. They might get some health benefits out of it as well. I mean, I'm trying every day, but it was easy. There's always vegetables at every gathering, so I'll just like get half of my plate with vegetables and take a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs, and it's easy. It's just there's no reason anybody should fail doing this program. It's just that easy and makes so much sense.
Oh, that's so cool. So, I mean, yeah, and did you notice any difference with did you notice any difference when it came to your strength, your workouts, the other things that you were doing? Was it the workouts that ended up being a big part of it, or was it just to be and you were just kind of just make it just kind of that missing piece or that piece you've been
Yeah.
looking for? Maybe not missing, but
Well, for Alana, the dietitian who puts together To Be Mindset said that exercise was extra credit. But since I'd been doing the 80-day obsession, I was really on a roll. I mean, there was no reason to stop working out. And I was working out 5, 6 days a week until I started Lift 4. Now it's 4 days a week, yes. But no, I had more energy. And I liked adding the weights to my workouts. And I think I'm really getting some gains, as my friends like to say. And I just wanted to see how far I could go working out, keeping up the workouts and adding a lot of weights to the workouts. And so far, so good. And I'm not finished yet. So,
nice. I love that you brought up um, exercise is extra credit because
mhm.
we are talking about to me mindset here. So it is optional. A lot of times people just want to lose weight. They don't want to be into a structured diet of some sort. I know we mentioned the word diet here, but this is kind of a very
It's
undiet.
right.
It's just
Right.
regular eating that's very customizable.
Mhm.
There's a few other principles that need to be in there. That is tracking what you're eating and weighing in each day,
Yep.
but not it isn't waiting 80 days to get on the scale and then have the scale be yep it's information that you just check in each day.
Mhm. Right, yeah, and I do that every morning. I wake up and check the scale, and what's nice about it right now, if I go up a pound or 2, I'm not gonna, like, have a bad day.
Mhm.
Okay, well, maybe I ate too many silly carbs yesterday and not enough of vegetables, or maybe, I didn't drink enough water or something. But it doesn't bother me because I know it's going to come right back off and I'm going to get to where I want. So the scale is definitely a tool that I use each and every day.
Oh, you just brought up something in my head. It was when it's going to come back off, but this for me when I've had other eating plans and maybe I got had some silly carbs. I went out and had some wine and cheese and some crackers and whatever it was, and I know the scale's going to go up the next day. So I kind of avoided the scale, because
Uh-huh.
I don't want that to happen. But I also know if I'm going to drop the weight, whatever, I might have to do something a little bit more intense and just not eat all day or just not, and do these things. It's like, no, you just get back into this very easy to follow habit. And
Absolutely.
if it takes a couple days, it does, but it just comes right back.
Yeah.
It's really, really kind of cool.
It is cool. It is cool. And I don't know why everybody isn't on board with it because it's just so easy, so sustainable. for lack of a better word. It's an amazing program. And I am just so blessed to have found it, and so thankful to you for encouraging me to listen and get on board.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you did too. Because you hear the word "to be mindset," it's really not easy to go, "What's that about?"
Hmm.
And so it's intriguing. Do
Hmm.
you want to talk what when you went through the program? This is a program that just basically gives you, it gives you a cool thing like a little tracker and a water bottle and stuff, but a series of videos that you watch online.
Right.
And what value did how'd you go through the videos? Were there any certain topics that stood out to you that is like, oh, there's a good way to think about this stuff, or there's a big aha moment for you?
Well, one of the videos was really important to me, and it was talking about the can cut this part. You talk about uh, eating when you're not really hungry, emotional eating. Thank you. It was emotional eating. And that was a big deal for me. Like going back to my childhood, hi, Crookshanks. Going back to my childhood, I would eat out of boredom. Just I have nothing else to do, I'm going to eat. And then as I grew into an adult, it was more like I'm by myself, I'm pretty stressed out, I'm going to eat. I would eat half a bag of Cheetos or a big bowl of popcorn. Carbs are my thing, not candy. It's those silly carbs are really my thing. And so I would get stressed out and say, like, well, I just have to have a few crackers and that'll calm me down. And I think I was relying on that a lot to cope. But her emotional eating video just really helped me realize that, you know, there are other things to do when you're feeling stressed out. Like, okay, well, I can phone a friend, or I can do something with my hands, just something that's going to take my mind off of eating. And I don't really feel that way anymore. I don't feel like I need to go grab a handful of chips before I do the next thing. I can go on with my day and I don't need the extra stuff. And that's been a major godsend to me.
Oh, great. I'm glad you shared that. There were a lot of videos for those of you that, and we'll put a link in the show notes to be mindset so you can check and do your own research. But what I loved with this was just all of the different catchphrases that
Oh,
she
yeah.
had. How have those catchphrases, maybe if you remember a couple, but how have those catchphrases helped you in losing this 30 pounds and wherever you're going next, or however you're maintaining?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely think of water first and veggies most every day. The Dintio, is it, do I need this eating opportunity?
Hmm.
That one really sticks out to me because, there are a lot of times when I go out and people are just so kind and bring food, and you think, oh, that's great. I think I'll have, one of those celery sticks instead of, everything. And sometimes I do go back to it, but then again, it just comes back off. Some of the other uh, catchphrases,
We have dinner and done.
yeah, oh yeah, dinner and done every night.
Two
Um,
hands on the wheel is another
yes,
one.
well, this is my wheel. Yeah, I think of those every day. And that water bottle is great too because it has all of the phrases on it too. I don't have mine handy right now, but um, it is fun to look at that water bottle and say like, oh yeah, that's one of the phrases that I need to remember. And it's just very positive and motivating, and it just helped me a great deal.
That's a real key part of this. And one of the things that's, while I loved all the eating plans that I've done in the past, well, most of them, because it gave you structure and it gave you a system to follow and to get
Mhm.
results. I just loved the positive, upbeat, non-restrictive.
Yep.
Hey, it's okay. If you
Yes.
made that choice, fine.
Right.
Don't it wiped it really challenged you to wipe out the guilt factor that some of or
Absolutely.
the avoidance factor that we sometimes have
Hmm.
when we're challenged with weight gain or we've gotten off track.
Yes.
where we once had those results and now, oh, we're not back in our heyday anymore. And I just found this to be such an answer for people to have, and your testimonial is just fantastic. That's awesome.
No, I'm really happy with it. And I just, I love that everything is from here forward. You don't need to look back. You don't have to feel bad about what happened yesterday because you can't change that. You just have to keep moving forward. And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it puts you in control, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so cool. Wow. Well, I don't know what other things, whatever's next, but I mean, um, I- obviously you're still that this isn't like a thing like, okay, I'm done with 2B
Oh,
mindset.
no,
What's next? What's
no. Right. I'm going to continue with this. It's a life change. It's a mindset change. And it's what's working for me. And I really wish that other people would get on board because they would make a lot of great changes and just feel healthier and happier and get on with their lives.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could see the people. What do you say to the person that's sitting, maybe listening to this or sitting there going, well, I've tried just about every eating plan in the book. Or maybe I've tried every eating plan in the book and probably written a few extra books. Why would this work for, why should I even think about doing something like this?
I think the proof is in the pudding. I think you just have to try it. Just give it a shot. I mean, you can just see how great it goes just by living it every day. I would just give it a try the water, eat more vegetables, see where it goes for you. I just, there's no reason not to.
Yeah. Well, some of the things I was going to share, just piggyback on that and say, within some of these videos, she tells you, I mean, we talk about veggies most now. If you were talking to me 10 years ago, I'd be like, "Bleh, no way.
Same.
I'm not doing veggies. Forget it." And um, here we are 10 years later, I'm doing it, but she shows you different ways that you can flavor up veggies or
Mhm.
bring veggies into your meals that maybe are a little more disguised. I know for
Mhm.
me, when I started having veggies, I had to just like either put salsa on it or some sort of low sodium soy sauce to just mask that gag factor that I would have until my body became accustomed to having that. But once I started eating veggies, I was surprised at how I dropped like 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And then all the other, so she also has a video that takes you through a grocery store and helps you, even if you make choices that you think, well, is this healthy? I want to buy cheese. I can't give up my dairy. I know a lot of people do that. We live right next to Wisconsin, the dairy state, right? And so there's a lot of cheese in this area, but she goes through it, says, you know what? If you're going to buy cheese, cool, no big
Yep.
deal. Here's what to look for when you're buying cheese. She doesn't say, oh, nope, that's on the no-no list.
No.
And she takes you through the store and does it. So even that is golden. The emotional eating part is pretty incredible. How to plate your food so
Mhm.
you're making the most of the energy-filled carbohydrates earlier in the day,
Right.
as opposed to late at night. What the veggies can do, the variety of veggies, and how to prepare them. And there's a bank of recipes. So really, really cool. Speaking
Yeah.
of food, you've got celiac disease. How did
I do.
what do you do? How did this fit in, or what's the deal?
Oh my gosh, it fit in perfectly. I mean, especially since you're really cutting back on the carbs, on the, bad carbs. I hardly eat bread anyway. I eat gluten-free bread, obviously, but it wasn't really a huge part of my diet, so that wasn't too hard. I just added more what she calls FFCs, which would be like, sweet potatoes, black beans,
Fiber-filled carbs is what that's
fiber filled carbs, right? And it's easy to add those. I mean, I just don't eat bread except for a sandwich here and there. So it's really not that hard. And then with having celiac disease, I can't really eat fried foods, especially out at restaurants and things. So that wasn't a big deal. It may have been easier for me because I didn't have to eliminate so many carbs to begin with. I just kept going and just added more veggies, and it works for me.
Yeah. How do you work it when you're at the, at the restaurant and you want to, make sure that you're kind of, well, I mean, you've got the flexibility to say, you know what, I'm going to eat whatever I choose here.
Uh-huh.
But let's say you're saying, you know what, I want I want it to be a weight loss day, or I want it to, at least maintain what I've been doing. What do you do
Yeah.
at restaurants?
Oh, salads. Salads are my big go-to meal. If I can't find anything else, like a grilled steak or chicken, I can always go with a salad and say no bread, no croutons, and that's pretty easy. A few weeks ago, we went out to dinner and I ordered a cheeseburger with no bun, and then on the side they had Brussels sprouts as an appetizer. And I said, "Ooh, can I have that as my side dish?" So I had a burger with no bun and Brussels sprouts, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, you can do that." So I mean, it's kind of fun to come up with different ways to incorporate those veggies where I normally wouldn't have. But salads are always key, and there's just, although I have to say, when we go to restaurants in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, it's very difficult to find food that I can eat. A lot of places have gluten-free pizza crust, which is great. So I might have to resort to that, but fresh vegetables and fruit aren't on a lot of those bar menus. So I will just eat at home, or, eat before we go and then just enjoy my family time, and know that I can eat something later. Or I've also brought vegetables and something I can eat with me to places like that. And it just makes life easier. Planning ahead is key as well.
Oh, that's a good point. You know, and I think there's one video she has in there on how to navigate the menu.
Hmm.
Like you said, the burger came a certain way, and then you looked at other options in the menu and went, hey, can you reassemble this? It helps to ask
Yes,
questions.
absolutely.
So
And I kind of
that's
have to live that way at restaurants. So it's
no
all
doubt.
good.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, Barb, I am so, you seem so very, very happy with the way things are going.
Thank you. I am. This has just been a wonderful experience for me, and I'm just going to keep going and keep working out, try to get my muscles in gear, and see how that goes.
Oh, yes, no doubt. Well, I so appreciate you for coming on, for sharing your story and your journey.
Thanks,
I'm
Gary.
trying to think if there's anything else, because it's like, man, you covered the workout stuff. You covered the how to be. It was kind of a big answer. If it kind of filled that part that you were looking
It
for.
really did. It was my aha moment, as they say.
There's a lot of aha moments in this one. I was so pleasantly surprised, and just enjoyed all of the training videos. And this lady is just amazing, I
She's
think.
incredible. I love her, and maybe someday I'll get to meet her. That would be awesome.
No doubt, no doubt. Our friend Prima just did, so that was really
I
cool.
saw that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So Barb, thank you so much for coming on the podcast again.
Thanks for
Man,
having
you're
me, Gary.
probably going to earn like some sort of celebrity jacket if you come on a third time or something. I don't know. It's kind of like you're an SNL host of some sort.
I feel so famous,
No
finally.
doubt. Well, I know this is going to help a lot of people.
I hope so.
I so appreciate you for coming on, and
Oh,
your
thank
story
you.
is inspiring. And yeah, all along been sharing we'll be sharing those photos. So anyway,
Sounds good. Thank you. And if I can
awesome.
help, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Oh, you absolutely rock. Yeah.
Thanks, Perry.
You bet. Wasn't that a great story? I just love what Barb shared and her experience and where things are going from here. It's not like just this, okay, I did that plan and I'm moving on. This is lifestyle stuff. And so I'm excited for where things are going for her and for you, should you decide to do to be mindset and take yourself on that journey and apply those very simple strategies in your life, with your eating and your mindset and everything else. I'll put a link in the show notes to that. You can check that out. And of course, if you have any questions, you feel free to email me. And if you have a question for Barb, I will pass it on, perrytinsley@gmail.com. And I'm sure that you you probably would have some questions. Say, will this work for me? And of course, the answer is yes. But I understand going, oh, is this sort of thing? I know that there's always a money back guarantee on this stuff, so why not? It's the way I look at it. Anyway, I so appreciate you for coming on this podcast, being a subscriber, sharing it when possible, and it's just really crazy cool if you can get in to your podcast app or on iTunes and give the show an honest rating and review. It just helps reach more people. And man, did I say thank you? I think I did. Anyway, that's all I have for this week. And remember,
it's never too late.
We'll see you next week. That worked out good.